friends, welcome to another Gardener's Workshop live shopping show. I am Lisa and Suzanne stepping here, and my baby sister is here today, Suzanne. And so Suzanne and I have been doing these gigs for a long time together of offering up our goods and farming together, and we're just happy to be here with you guys today. So welcome, flower friends. So what's today's show about? Today, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a deep dive on soil blocking, our equipment, and kind of why I love soil blocking so very, very much. I mean, because y'all, it's all about practicality, right? Remember, we also still have a few 2023 grab bag seed sale going on. I also have some of my dried cool flowers to show to you guys today, which I mean, y'all, we are just so falling in love with this whole dried flower thing of our leftovers from fresh. We're not talking about growing specific. We're talking about making use of what you're already doing. We also have a prize drawing for those in the app that are viewing, that you can, that are watching live, that you can enter. And guess what, friends? We have a live Q&A. At the very end, if you want to ask me a question, just put @Lisa, and the girls will grab a few of those, and we'll answer some of them as time allows. And you know I love actually doing that. So before we jump into the show, remember to hit the share button down below to let your friends know that we're live and to bring them on over. So friends, I don't know if you've been around, but we actually have opened pre-orders to my book, the Cut Flower Handbook. The Cut Flower Handbook is coming out in February, and y'all, I couldn't be more excited and proud and just nervous and just can't, the anticipation is high. My new book is 8.5 by 10. It's hardback. It's 240 pages. They actually gave me 16 extra pages. Can you believe that? I just don't think that happens in the publishing world, right? So when you pre-order from us, you get 2 bonuses, one immediately when you check out, which is my Cool Flower Zone Guide. And then when the book ships to you in February of 2024, you get another bonus resource. So you can not buy that in the app today, but you can go to our website, and right at the top, there's a yellow banner, and you can buy it there, and be sure that you're locked in for one of our pre-order specials. Can't wait for you guys to have that book in your hand. And we're doing something this year that we haven't done for a really, really long time. Y'all, we are having a gratitude open warehouse. We have done in years past, occasionally, a Christmas open house on our warehouse for our locals to come and pick up gifts. And we're still doing that. But we are really making it all about y'all this year, because we are so grateful for each and every one of you. It's Saturday, December 9th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're in Newport News, Virginia, because we know a lot of people end up driving in, and the farm is not open. This is just in our brand new fulfillment center, which we cannot wait to show you. And so the farm is not open. Sadly, no pets are allowed. It is free to attend. We're going to have refreshments. We're going to do a giveaway at the top of every hour. We'll have a place where there's some seats, and you and I can sit down and have a chat. I'll be signing books. We have plans to have a precious Christmas photo booth. And of course, all of our in-stock merchandise sale will be there, right? I mean, we just the greatest Christmas shopping ever. And I will tell you that parking shouldn't be a problem. We're in an industrial park, y'all. It's not like going to a mall, right? So Jesse has posted today in Facebook and Instagram the links. I'm just reading. That has the links to go straight on our website to the page that's got all the information. But if you have more questions, you can always call the office, and we'll be happy to give you any information you need. So let's get down to the show. Housekeeping. Remember, when you set up your account, y'all, make sure that there's no typos in your email and your phone number in case we have a shipping question about you. For you, also remember that seed-only orders ship for free. We totally love doing that for you guys. Standard shipping is capped at $9.95 when you purchase products. It doesn't matter how many products you purchase. We do ship to all 50 of the United States. And if you are watching us through social media, we are so glad you're here. But you have to know that we have a phone app, and there's just a lot more features over there, like you can create a favorites list. You just hit the star on an item that you're thinking about, it'll put it on your list, and you find the list at the bottom bar inside of the app. There's also a replay feature, and there is a great hack for that, y'all. When you go into our app and start one of the videos on a previous show, it comes up on the bottom and says shop all. When that comes up, hit it. You can scroll through all the items, or if it's in season, any of the flowers that I talked about, you can hit it and it jumps the video ahead to that spot. So that's just a great way to get what you need. And we love the conversations that go on inside the app. So get the app, and you can just go to your phone's app store, search Gardener's Workshop, download it. It is totally free, y'all. There is no cost involved. And jump back over here because you can get it really quickly.
Joanna is new to the app and she's already loving it.
Hey, Joanna, welcome aboard. So glad you're enjoying the app, and thank you for giving us the shout out. We just love hearing from you guys, right? So the other thing that is available inside the app is the wait list. What that means is if you go to purchase a product and it's already sold out, it'll say out of stock, get on the wait list. What that does, getting on the wait list, sometimes, because we have to bring inventory over digitally from our big website, sometimes stuff sells out. The team may be behind the scenes actually bringing more over. And the other thing that happens is when you put an item in your cart, that takes it out of our inventory. And then sometimes people don't check out within 2 hours. And so the item is put back in inventory. And if you signed up for the wait list, you would get notified, hey, there's an item available that you want, and you can take advantage of that. So getting on the wait list, that's all that does for you, but it keeps you in the know. And if you're seeing folks in the app posting the sunflower emoji, that's because those people are identifying themselves as our students. We consider our students the TGW family, and we absolutely, our heart soars when we see all those sunflowers showing up. So thank you guys so very, very much. And we are giving away today a $25 store credit, y'all, to one lucky viewer. You have to be here at the end of the show when we do the drawing. But right now, Susie has it up. Just hit the buy button. You're not buying anything, y'all. That's just putting you on a list. Tap that buy at the screen and then tap to be added to the wait list. And that's the list that we will pull our winner from at the end of the show. So friends, out of the gate, we're going to talk about some great gifts, not only for yourself, but for a friend, to really jumpstart the next season for them, right? And these are just really great gifts. So you know that I sign all the books myself. And so I would love to send a book to you. And which one's up first? So the first up is my Cool Flower book, along with the seed collection. And this is just a great way. You could just put a piece of ribbon around it, y'all. So this set is $40.95, and they're all signed, but if you'd like for me to put a personal message, like a person's name or something, you can just put that in the comments when you're checking out. And so this is $40.95, and this has the seed collection, which also has a suggested pattern that you can actually plant by. And this is one that people can get started with right out of the gate after Christmas. So that's what I love about that. So that's the Cool Flowers book. The other set that we have is my Vegetables Love Flowers book and the Easy Cut Flower Garden seed collection. And let me show you. The seed collections have 6 packs of individual seeds of whatever the selection is. These are our workhorses. These are also our top sellers. These are just great. I'm still growing these after 25 years, y'all. It's the giant zinnias, the green ones, the sunflower, the small Oklahoma zinnia, coxcomb, and then of course the amazing fragrant lemon. Is it lemon and cinnamon? It is. Lemon and cinnamon basil. So the seed collection has a planting diagram on the back, as well as includes my additional tips for success. So this set is $43.90, and this is something people, this is warm, so this doesn't get planted for a couple of months for most of us. This gives them time to digest the book, get excited about it, and then to have their seeds and to know exactly what to do. $43.90. That is really a great gift. All right. So what do we have next? Oh, the book set. So if you don't need a seed collection, but you want to give the books, we have both books together for $48.90. And you do, I'm not sure if y'all remember this or not, or you may not know that both of my books come with a free video book study. And where there's one for Cool Flowers and Vegetables Love Flowers. And you can give both of these for $48.90. I mean, you could buy the set and just give one to two different people, right? So would love to sign these for you guys, and I'm really happy to think about signing one and personalizing it for you if we need to. And now I'm going to turn it over to Susie Q, and she's going to give you some awesome Christmas giving gift ideas.
Hey folks, good to see you all out there today. And first up we have one of our favorite tools on the farm, and those are our gloves. We live in these gloves. These are the Nitrile Touch gloves. They fit like skin. They have the nitrile coating on the palms, and they just wear forever. You can hand wash them, hang them to dry, or throw them in the washing machine with your jeans. We just love these. These come in size extra small to large. The single is $7.95, or you can get a 4-pack for $24.95. Medium is what I wear. I have a large hand for a woman. I cannot wear large gloves off the shelf because these are unisex, so the mediums fit a good sized woman hand or a smaller man's hand. And these are perfect. I put them in my basket, and when I have family over, I pass the basket around and let them choose their color and their size, and it's the perfect gift. The 4-pack is $24.95. I didn't mention that, so you can have enough for everyone.
Tell your story about the swapping colors. I love that story.
Oh yeah, so we often would have groups of girls go to the shopping shows together, and they would all come and buy their gloves, and then they would swap hands. So they would have one color on the right hand, one color on the left hand, and they said whenever they're out working in the garden, they would think about the person that had the other hand that went to their set. So you can have a fun little tradition of getting the gloves and sharing them with your friends and thinking about that person.
And who does not need a new pair of gloves every single year? You know, I sometimes feel bad giving gloves again year after year, but I know I personally am ready for a new pair of gloves every single, even though they don't wear out, you want a new pair.
I have to say, I wear mine when I put up my artificial tree.
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good tip.
Tear up my hand.
Susie said she wears hers when she's putting her Christmas tree up, and I could have used that. I put up some garland last night on the banister, and my hands are all torn up today, so I should have had mine on. Good tip, Susie. So next we have the Nitrile Tough gloves. These are sized the same. These come small to extra large, so this would be perfect for a man with a really large hand. They have a double dipping of the nitrile coating on the palms. They're great for gripping. We have mechanics use these. They use them to golf. There's just nothing you can't do with these on. They're good for moving wood or concrete where you want to protect your hands, but you want a good grip.
And the other thing I was just thinking about, that our cousins milk cows with these gloves, and also quilters. They, I think, use the lightweight. Other ones, either one would do great. But quilters use them because it's so grippy on the needle. And I will tell you, when we go to sow seeds outside, you just don't even have to take your gloves off. That's how nimble you can be with them on. You can just feel everything. So, I mean, we just can't talk enough about these gloves, because I didn't think there was a glove out there that I would not feel like I didn't have a glove on. You know what I mean? It's like it's why we call them second skin. So there are endless opportunities for gift giving and for you.
So the Tough gloves are single or $7.95, or a 4-pack is $24.95. And I plan to get a 4-pack of the Tough and the Touch to throw into my basket to pass around at Christmas for everybody to choose their gloves. So these are just the best gloves ever, and anybody you meet who's ever used a pair will tell you the same. They are just wonderful. Next up, we have our favorite shears. These shears are spring-loaded. You could tell these are my pair that have been used. They're spring-loaded, so they're very easy to use. They don't take a lot of strength to use them, even though we cut big sunflowers or small woodies with these. They're just really easy on the hand. Since we're getting a little older and things are a little tougher to do, these work really well. Everybody who has a yard would love to have this. There's always something you need to snip in your yard, and if you're doing cut flowers, this is what we use even in full harvest. They'll just cut everything, and you'll love them. And the shears are $41.95. Perfect gift. Next up, we have the Easy Arranger. Now, the Easy Arranger comes in this pretty little package, and it's the metal little frilly looking thing. You just fold it over the edge of your vase, and it holds your flowers in place. So when we have flowers, this one's a little long, let me give this one a trim. When you have flowers, either from your garden or if you pick up something from the grocery store, it just is going to make them stand up where you want them to be, and you don't have to do a lot of finagling with them. They're just going to stay where you put them. So we love the Easy Arranger. It's the perfect gift. I also like to keep some of them on hand to be able to have a gift at the last minute for a girlfriend or a neighbor. And the Easy Arranger, the single is $8.95, 2-pack for $15.50, or a 3-pack for $21.50. And again, I would throw this into my basket and give it as one of the options as a gift.
I keep thinking of things. Sister, tell them how when you have a bigger vase, you can push it down into the throat. I mean,
yeah.
this is a really universal tool.
So if your vase is smaller, you just bend more of it down over the vase. If you have a larger vase, you can actually push it down into the throat of the vase and hold the flowers in place that way, and you don't have to push as much of the side up to do that. So it's very versatile, and it will work with any container that's size 6 inches or smaller. And yeah, perfect gift.
And it's almost like jewelry for
Yes,
your vase.
exactly. And you can hang crystals or any little thing from the edge of this to decorate up your
Beads and
container
stuff.
too. Yeah, beads.
Okay. Dana just commented, the Easy Arranger turned my flowers from a jungle to a bouquet.
Did you hear that? She said what was her name again?
Dana.
Dana said that the Easy Ranger turned her flowers from a jungle to a bouquet. So it really does work, and it's simple to use. Next up, we have our Easy Grips. These are stay put candle grips. Everybody needs to have these if you have candles. They're just, I can't tell you how wonderful they are. These little guys we have been using for years. You can see they're kind of discolored and they're a little worn, but guess what? They still work. You just simply place it over the top of your candle holder and you just push it in, and it stays in place whichever way you have it. If you
That
have
was
a big,
brave.
if you have it's like what is it, a blizzard they turn upside down. And if you have a larger candle, you just put 2 or 3 around the edge and push it down, and it does the same thing. Well, I guess that did too much, huh? So now we also have, this comes in an 8-pack, and it's $8.95, and I wouldn't have candles without it. So now we need to show you our next little candle great thing, and that is our little candle vase. And our candle vase are these little plastic containers with a little top. It's like a little frog. And you just put water in this, and you slide it over your candle. And it also comes in a 2-pack. And we love to put little flowers in here. Here, come hold this, sister. Hold that for me. And I'm going to take just some holly. You can get anything off of your trees outside or your bushes in the winter. And you put the holly down inside, put water in, and there's an instant little arrangement to dress up your table. And
Let's tell them the story.
Oh, go ahead.
All right, so, Suzanne and I used to travel and do big shopping shows for years and years selling all this great stuff, right? And one year we had this elderly lady that was standing over in the corner of our booth where these little vases, candle vases were displayed, which are made in the USA, by the way. And she was giggling to herself, and went over and said, may I help you with something? She said, oh my goodness. She said, I haven't seen these for years. My mother actually had a glass version of these, she said when I was little, I'm going to guess this lady was in her 80s, right? And she said my mother had a glass version, and my mother was very prim and proper, nothing out of place. She was very focused on that. And on this particular Sunday, they invited the priest, went to church, they invited the priest home for lunch. And my mother's glass candle vases were on the table, and my father, who was a prankster, had actually put a goldfish in each one of them. And they were swimming in circles, and she said, my mother was mortified, but the rest of us were like roaring with laughter. And she said, I haven't thought of that since I was like 9 years old. And that was just the greatest story. Anyway, they're killer. They're really cool to use. And you can put guppies in there maybe.
So the candle ring vases are $14.95 for a 2-pack. And not only is it a great way to dress up your table for any occasion, it is the perfect gift to give as well. So we love those, and they're a lot of fun. You can get little violas from your yard any season. You can find something outside to pretty it up. Next, we have the ultimate stocking stuffer. This is the candle vase, and this is flexible, and you can use it to clean any little cylinder thing you've not been able to get clean. This bends so that you can get it inside of your vase and get down to those spots that you were never able to get to before. We also use it for hummingbird feeders. We use it for irrigation filters, for humidifiers. This is the perfect stocking stuffer. It's $12.95. Of course, it fits perfectly in a stocking, but this also would go in my basket and pass it around at the holidays and let people choose their gift. And this is another great one. We constantly heard from people at our shows how much they loved and used their vase brush. So next we have the Velcro plant ties. Now, I was telling you how I scratched up my hands doing my garland on my banister last night. Well, guess what I used? I used the Velcro. Each piece I cut about 12 inches, and then I just wrapped it around my banister and wrapped it around my garland, and then I took ribbon and tied ribbon to cover the green up on the wood banister. But it works perfect because it's so easy. There's no fighting it. It's not going to mess up my wood banister. What this was really made for is for staking your tomatoes or any of those vines and things that you want to manage out in your garden. The great thing is it sticks to itself. It's weatherproof, so you can use it outside on your vegetables or on your garland. But it's the perfect thing to reuse every year. And I just have a big gob of them all cut to about 12 inches, and you just pull it and it comes right apart, and you can reuse it and reuse it. It's 50 feet and it's $7.95. This is a great thing for you to have, but it is also a wonderful gift. We love our Velcro plant ties. Okay, now we have quite a few stories about this. This is our weather stick. It's made of balsam wood, the same thing that divining rods are made of. It's very simple. There's a little hole here in the top. You take it outside and attach it to any post where you can see it from the side. And mine at home, when the weather is bad, I've seen it bend and touch the post it's attached to. And when it's fair, it curls up. And it is just the funnest thing to watch. Men love this. They're sure it's not going to work. They see it works, and then they want to give one to everyone. We love our weather sticks. They're $10.95. If you're looking for a great combo gift for a man, then get the weather stick and add a pair of gloves, and it's under 20 bucks. The weather stick is $10.95, and then a pair of tough gloves together would be under $20, and this would be a gift that they will use over and over and talk about for a long time. Next we have is the tick key. And this is called a key because it has a little hole at the top for you to put it on your keychain. But this is great for wiggling animals and husbands that get a tick, And you can see you just slide this right over their little head and it just pulls them right out, head and all. And this works. I use it all the time. We hear that nurses use this at schools, and it's just the perfect, again, stocking stuffer and gift. It's $9.95, and I have one in probably almost every drawer in the house because, of course, I can never get my hand on it when I need it. So I keep one in multiple places so that I can always have it within a hand's reach. And if you put it on your keychain, you'll always know where it is. So the tick key, $9.95. Get one for you and put them in your basket for your gifts.
Sister, don't you think that one of the things we learn going year after year to the same big shopping shows, because the same people would come every year. I mean, we're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of people. We would hear how much people loved and enjoyed. And oftentimes, interestingly enough, the people that were gift recipients would now be show attendees to come and get the stuff that they were given. Mm-hmm. I think one of the things that I love most about the stuff that we sell is that it's practical, that it's useful, and people appreciate it. So don't be afraid to give gloves or anyway. So that we have just seen the success stories over and over, and we give them as gifts too.
Yeah, and love to get them as gifts.
And love to get them as gifts, that's right. So I don't know if you all knew, but for many people, us included, is that we literally here in southeastern Virginia could literally start seeds almost year round. But for me, in the month of December, we kind of take December off for farming. Y'all, sorry, I've been standing over there with my coat freezing. So we take the month of December off. But there are literally things that could be started in December. But what this all means, as soon as the holidays are over in the 1st of January, we are back at seed starting, full speed ahead. Particularly the slow growing warm season tender annuals, but all of the cool season, we just jump right into. And so what you want to be thinking about, I know you're focused on Christmas, I am too, but you have to have your seeds and supplies on hand before you need to use them, and just stock up and be ready to roll. So one of the other chores that I love to do at this time of the year, y'all, I love to do tasks that you don't have to think about, right? So you can think about stuff doing it. Sifting and preparing my soil for making soil blocking mix ingredients. Couldn't figure out what word to use. Is one of those. And then also we tarp beds for easier access in the spring to clean beds and to hold them. But you know what else I use tarps for during the winter is to cover beds that maybe I didn't get prepared on time for very early spring cool flower planting. And if I cover it now, that will help to dry them out and to keep them dry so that maybe you can prepare soil in very early spring, which can be a real challenge. So the deal of the day today is the soil set. And I'm going to demonstrate the soil set just a little bit here in just a second. But what is included? This is our sifter. It includes the sticky traps for fungus gnat control and monitoring, the seed pan. It includes our toothpick holder that's got our website on it, as well as a bag of the DIY nutrient mix. You mix this with your peat moss and compost to make blocking mix. This is 20% off. So for $43.04, you can have the sifter and what you need to get started with making the blocking mix. So this is how that sifter fits. This is a 5-gallon bucket, y'all. And this sifter, I just can't tell you how many sifters we went through to find one that actually fit a 5-gallon bucket. Seems like a very simple thing to me, but it wasn't. This just literally locks right in. You pour your soil in, and you can either shake it or you can rub it. But I just wanted to give you a little bit. I'm going to actually pick this up. I just did a 1 sifter full of soil earlier. Look at all this debris that came out of the peat moss or the compost. I mean, that's the stuff you don't want in your blocking mix. And why I'm saying this is a great job to do at this time of the year. Anytime when it's cool outside, it's dusty, you should do it outdoors. Do it when you can wear a coat so you can be out there and be comfortable. Get yourself a picnic table or something. Get a bale of peat moss and a couple bags of compost. Have some kind of large container. We use trash cans with lids, galvanized trash cans. And I just sift, and then I just dump all the good stuff, goes down into the 5-gallon bucket, and I just dump the bucket in as soon as it gets full, and I start over again. This is one of those really satisfying jobs. And when you do this now, guess what? All spring and summer, you have your blocking mix ready to roll. And then the other tip I wanted to say is I also keep in those trash cans a measurer. And that's the measurer that I use for water and for the blocking mix. It just makes it so simple and easy. All right, so now we're gonna do a little bit of soil blocking. I'm gonna look at some babies. I'll just hold these up.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so first off, I'm gonna demonstrate the hand tools today, the hand soil blocker, the 3/4 inch, and y'all, I just had to show y'all these. These were lettuce, our gourmet leaf lettuce, which is my favorite lettuce. Bobo and I are planting this in 2 large containers here, and I have committed to dragging it in when it gets down below 20 degrees outside. These were only started 2 days ago. This says November 29th, and look at that. They are already popping. I am so excited and pleased about this. So this is the 3/4 inch blocker. This is 100 blocks. This tray is not available in the app, but you can find it over on our website. Now I have some more mature seedlings. This is our small foam tray that holds 40 of the small 3/4 inch blocks. We reuse, y'all, foam tray. I almost dumped them right here in front of you. We reuse foam trays over and over and over again. So these are not disposable. This is 40 feverfew that are almost ready, would be ready to go to the garden. And then look at this. This is our foam tray. This is our foam tray that holds 60 plants. This is the large reusable foam tray. And look at these beautiful snapdragons. So these guys are just really space savvy and really, really love them. So I'm going to show you actually how I make these. You know, I chose soil blocking after I learned about it, 29, 28 years ago. I was drawn to it, because I was having such dreadful success with other methods. I learned about soil blocking, and I learned about the small blocker, and I thought, I had no space. I still don't have a greenhouse, y'all. During our high production, we started 100,000 seedlings a year throughout the season using this method indoors in a room like a garage grow room with grow lights and heat mats. And its space savviness made it possible for me to become a flower farmer. And then I tweaked it into a tabletop method, meaning we use flat bottom trays with no drainage holes. This makes watering easy and simple and really easy to maintain. So Suzanne's gonna move the camera down so y'all can, and there's too much water in here. I knew I was gonna do that. And
Can you see that?
let's see, yep, I can see. All right, so the blocking mix for soil blocking is a special recipe, but it is really simple, which we just went through those ingredients, right? The DIY nutrient mix is a mix of peat moss, compost, and then that nutrient. The nutrient is simply green sand phosphate, or green sand and rock phosphate powder. And it has to be the powder, y'all. You cannot use the chunks or the granules that sometimes people find. And we mix 3 parts of the dry mix, which is, the recipe is always on our website. It's on your DIY nutrient, and it's always there. And so it's 3 parts blocking mix to 1 part water. And it's wetter than what you think it should be. That's part of what some people have a little bit of trouble wrapping their head around. So we've made the blocking mix, and this is the small blocker. This is the 3/4 inch. And I use the 3/4 inch most of the time. And the only time I don't use this one is when the seed may be bigger than will fit in this block. And this is a potato masher, y'all. This is what I have found to be the best tool for striking off the excess blocking mix, but also mixing the actual blocking mix with water. So y'all see we use our trays over and over again. I'm just gonna place the blocker on the tray. I'm gonna lift up and push the plunger all at the same time. And there you go. That quick, you make 20 blocks. And I'm gonna do that again. So I have great success with growing celosias in this small blocker. Celosia is a huge family in the flower world. That's what coxcomb and all those beautiful plumes are. And they are very resistant to being pot bound and getting sitting in a tray. I think that the reason I had so much success growing celosias, which is in our top 10 cash crops, is because I was a soil blocker and they just really transplant well. Again, I'm gonna just lift up and push the plunger at the same time. And there we have 40 blocks ready for me to sow the seeds. Now, this is the seed pan, which we saw in the seed set, and we use this because it is aluminum and there's no static electricity. If you've been using a little butter dish and you've probably been chasing the seeds around, that's why that happens. So this is coated celosia, and we chose this so you guys could see it better. And let me move my stuff here. So celosia needs light to germinate. So that means that they're just firmly placed on the surface of the block. So I'm just grabbing a seed and pushing it down. I'm not covering it. I'm not taking a lot of time to put it buried. And you know, it's amazing how quick this goes, especially when you're not trying to do it under a camera, y'all. And do you see how the seed is literally just jumping right on my toothpick? Did you see that? That's because there's no static electricity, y'all. It will change your seed starting life. All right, so that's how I sow small seeds into the small block. And the small tray, the aluminum seed pan just really makes a difference, y'all. All right, so we are ready to go to... Now, I mentioned that I use the small blocker most of the time, but there are times when you just have to use the large blocker. And I'm going to show you some seedlings. I'm going to show you seedlings first to give you an idea. These are sweet peas that literally are just being born. Look there. The root is just starting to come out of the bottom. I'm going to turn it sideways so you can see that little vine? So these are sweet peas. Sweet pea seeds would not fit into that small block. It would bust it wide open. So I use the 2-inch block, right? And so why do I resist using the 2-inch block? This is the same tray that you just saw 40 small blocks on. This will hold a second set, which you're getting ready to see me do, but this takes up a lot more space, and it takes about 12 times the volume of soil to actually make the blocks. So we only use the large blocker when we need it. And when do we need it? We need it for large seeds like sunflowers, zucchini, squash, sweet peas, all of those types of guys. All right, so again, it's the same soil, a little bit different technique. And I put a little too much water in this soil that I mixed, which is a very common problem. It's a better error to make putting too much water than not enough. All right, so I'm gonna make one set of blocks with the 2-inch block with the insert installed on it, and it makes that gorgeous block that a small block will fit right in. But let's do this one too. Hold that, I'm afraid that'll fall. So now I'm gonna make a set of those same 2-inch blocks with the nipple still in it. And so I am going to see, it just gobbles up a lot of soil. When you do this, you realize, gosh, now I see why I should try to use the small block if at all possible. All right, so now, there's the blocks that I just made with the inserts. Now, these blocks are made with just the nipple that actually comes on the blocker. That's how it comes, with that white nipple that makes this perfect size hole to receive a seed. So what seed would I drop in there? So, yeah, thank you. So this is a hold your hand. These are calendula seeds, and they're kind of big. So you would just drop one into each hole. And honestly, I didn't look. Does calendula get covered with soil or not? Kelly is reading the
cover seed.
Okay, so you can do one of two things. You can take a toothpick and either just push it down further into the block, which is what I would do, and that provides the cover. But with this one that has this perfect hole in the top, let's just imagine for a minute that this little feverfew is a eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is one of the few plants that I would do this with because they're such slow growers. So this was started in the small block. It's been growing for about 3 weeks, and I want to pot this eucalyptus up, the make-believe eucalyptus, so it can grow for many more weeks to get actually larger. So I'm going to just drop it right into the 2-inch block. And that, my friends, is potting it up. You just simply drop it into the hole. And that, you want to be sure that it's making contact, and then it just grows on into an amazing transplant. So while I don't use the 2-inch blocker as often, when you need it, you actually need it. So that is the insert. That's how I use the 2-inch blocker. Now those inserts that you just saw me make blocks with, you can buy these additionally. They're $9.95, and you just pull the nipple out that's on the 2-inch blocker and pop this in. And I actually just leave this in, and then if I need to plant seeds in the blocker, then I will just drop my seeds in the bottom of this hole and put some soil on top of it. So we pretty much just make it work so we don't have to take the inserts in and out. And that works really, really well. All right, so next up is the blocker tray. So I already, soil blocking kit. So look at this, is the perfect idea to fit into the perfect size gift bag. I think I should go up. Why don't you bring it up? So we're gonna bring the can back up. So this soil blocking kit, soil block maker kit, y'all, is the deal of, if you need to start soil blocking, this is the way that you should go, and let me tell you why. So the soil blocking kit, Susie has it wrapped up in a perfect little bag as an excellent Christmas gift. It comes with 5 of those extra, or the large foam, reusable over and over again foam trays. These hold 3 sets of 20. It comes with that seed pan. You can never have enough aluminum seed pans, y'all. We have them all over this building. It also comes with the plant name tags as well as the written instructions with the recipe right on it. It also includes, of course, the small blocker. So it comes with the small blocker in the kit. It also comes with the DIY nutrient mix. So you would add your sifted peat moss and compost. Why do you sift it? You saw all those chunks that the sifter got out. You don't want those in your seed starting mix. They're perfectly fine in containers or out in your garden, but you want to mix sifted product, compost and peat moss that you get and add, and this is the nutrient which will get your seeds off to the very first great start. This bag will make about 6 recipes, and a recipe makes about 500 of those small blocks. So it goes a really long way. Another reason it's super savvy, right? All right, so that's the nutrient, but wait, y'all, there's more. All right, it also comes with 3 packs of seeds, and you choose, do you want cool or do you want warm? So cool season, if you wanna give somebody something for Christmas that they can literally just about the next day start seeds if you wanted to, this is it. The cool season seeds would be snapdragons, feverfew, and rudbeckia. Especially start rudbeckias out of the gate because they're such slow growers, right? So those can be started. But if you want to wait until summer or later in spring for summer blooms, this is the warm season seeds that you can select to come free with your kit. The giant benaries, the coxcomb, and the basil mix. But friends, let me tell you what the deal is for this kit. It includes my seed starting made easy online course. I just watched this course again on Monday or Tuesday. Y'all, this has everything you need to know to start seeds out in the garden and indoors with soil blocking. So this online course comes with the kit. The whole kit is $78.95 for everything I just showed you. You won't gain access to your course until Monday. And I just can't tell you, if you need to start soil blocking, this is the way you need to actually get started. All right, so the soil block maker kit is great, and you can actually, I think the set is up next. All right, so you can also purchase any of the components we talk about typically individually in the app, but we also sell the soil blocking tools as a set without all the kit stuff if that's what you want. This includes the 2-inch blocker, the small soil blocker, and the inserts for $84.95, and that's a savings over buying them individually. So this is if you don't need all the other stuff, maybe you're a stellar seed starter, you've been doing plug trays or whatever, and you want to start soil blocking, this is what will get you started. All right. So the trays, which you've heard me mention, the reusable foam trays come in 2 sizes. This is the small, which holds 2 sets of 40 small blocks or 2 sets of 4 of the 2-inch blocks. I mean, again, I'm just going to say that's why it's just so better to go with small if you can. I don't know about you, but space was always a challenge for me. I never had enough. The small trays are a 5-pack for $2.95 or a 25-pack for $12.95. Then we have the large tray. This would hold 3 of those 20s. And you can squeeze 12 of the 2-inch blocks on here. And these are a 5-pack for $3.95 or a 25-pack for $15.95. And friends, we just wash these and reuse them year after year after year. And what we write with on all of our trays, indoors and outdoors in the garden, for our garden markers is, or our plant ID sticks, is this garden marker. Y'all, I have used this particular brand of garden marker for over 20 years. Totally love it. It holds, it lasts through the UV rays and rain. We write on stuff in spring and it's still there in the fall when you're done. And that's true. So this has got a fine point so you can read what you're writing. It's $6.95, and this is another one of those great stocking stuffers. So one of the questions I often get is, why do you need a heat mat? This is a seedling heat mat. This will hold 3 or 4. I actually squeeze 4 of those little foam trays on here. And it has a built-in thermostat, which is this little thick thing right here. And that keeps this heat mat 15 to 20 degrees warmer than the surrounding air temperature. So why do you need a seedling heat mat? Most seeds in general germinate best at 75 to 85 degrees. And you're thinking, well, shoot, my house is 72 degrees. That ought to work. That's the air temperature, friends. Soil is typically 15 to 20 degrees cooler than the air temperature. And that is a very common reason why seeds don't sprout indoors. Simply adding a seedling heat mat that is plugged in, that has this built-in thermostat, will warm up the soil and get more of your seeds to germinate more uniformly and more quickly. So this is $38.95 and will save you more money in seeds than any other step I think that you can take. All right. So one of the things, I've never been a dome user on my soil trays. I know a lot of people do that, and it's not that there's anything wrong with that. However, it is really easy to encourage disease using those if you don't monitor them closely. And I know me, I do not monitor anything that closely. I water once a day, and that's all my seedlings see me all day long, right? So I learned that from Elliot Coleman about not using plastic that traps all that moisture. So we started using a couple years ago the wide weave burlap. This allows air to pass through, but it helps to retain moisture so that the plants don't get a lot of condensation dripping on them, or the seeds don't. You don't grow a lot of other stuff beyond your seeds. Now, this is available in 3-foot squares. It comes in a little pack like this for $3.95, or you can get a 3-pack of these for $9.95. And I've just found that because many of the flower seeds that I grow, as well as like that lettuce, are all surface sown. And so that helps to trap the moisture. And so you would literally just lay, that's how it would look. I mean, literally, it just loosely lays on top, y'all. It just helps to trap some moisture, but still allows air to actually get through.
And when would you take it off?
So that's a great question. So when do you take the burlap off the trays? As soon as I see seeds starting to crack, meaning any sign of life, I take it off, because those seedlings will quickly pop right through that burlap. And then when you pulled it off, you'd rip your babies out. So as soon as it's done its job is when you start seeing seeds sprout, then you take it off. And then we take the tray off the heat mat when you have about 50% of those seeds showing signs of life, and we move it over to a grow light. All right, y'all, so let's talk about the biodegradable film that I use. I'm always very much more in love with this time of the year than any other time, because we fall plant a lot of cool season hardy annuals. And one of the things about cool season hardy annuals fall planted is they don't do a lot of top growth in the fall and winter. They're really building underground roots, but you can count on that the winter weeds like chickweed and henbit are growing. So by having this biodegradable film on our beds with only a small hole popped through for our plant to be planted in, really blocks the lion's share of all those annual weeds. And so we make our beds in the fall with the black side up when we install it, because that just helps to warm the soil just a smidgen more. But when we use Bio 360 in the spring and summer, we make it with the white or gray side up, whichever the lighter side is, because that cools the surface temperature, and that prevents you from cooking your babies. I will tell you that we would have never scaled our flower farm without this product. And so it's, as you saw, really easy to pop a hole through. And this is Bobo and I put this down by hand for years before I got a tractor that lays it. So it comes in a package that is 48 inches wide and 50 feet long. A 1-pack is $26.95. A 6-pack is $134.95. And this is one of the biggest labor savers, morale boosters that we've ever practiced on this farm. Really love that. And there is a video on the product on the website showing you how we actually lay that down by hand. So here is another item. First off, y'all, you do know that we only sell the same things, that the stuff that I use. That's why we love everything we sell. We only sell those things we use. You know that we don't have this vast array of different things to choose from. And this is another one. This is lightweight floating row cover. I have enough row cover to cover our entire farm if needed. This is lightweight. It will give about 4 degrees of cold protection, but that's not really why we use it. We use it to block wind off of our plants, and also to keep deer and rabbits and squirrels from disturbing our plants. They're underneath hoops and row cover. And I will tell you something else, that it just really makes a huge difference in the quality of my plants that are not being wind whipped out there in the garden. I really attribute our great success with Cool Season Hardy Annuals. Think about going outside. Let's just say it's 58 or 60 degrees. That's not really cold, but when the wind blows, you get really chilled. Think about that's how your plants are. If you just put a windbreaker on, it makes you really comfortable. That's exactly what a row cover does to your plants. And you can use it flat without hoops for short-term use, like a couple of weeks for germinating seeds and that type of stuff. But we use it with our metal hoops, and those are available over on our website. Again, would not have the success and peace of mind as I do when I'm using row cover. It comes in a 6.5 feet wide, which is what covers like a 30-inch wide bed to hoop it, and it's 50 feet long for $26.95, and it's just the best insurance policy ever. Now, we use weight bags to actually weigh those down so we don't damage the row cover. I would never put clips or stakes in the ground to try to hold it because that will really rip them. So these are the weight bags. These are literally sandbags, y'all. And we fill it with either soil, gravel, or sand. 15 pounds is what you're aiming for. Fill one up. Usually it's about up to here with whatever product you're using. Take it inside and put it on your bathroom scale. Get an idea. You need more or less, or is that it? And when you have the proper weight, and we live in a really windy site. I've been posting some social media posts showing rumbling row covers. And so when you have enough at the proper weight, they will really hold your row covers down from coming off. So this comes in a 10 bag roll. There's 10 bags and it's $10.95. All right, so remember y'all, we are giving away a $25 store credit today. That means the lucky winner will go to there. When they go to check out, there will be $25 sitting in your store credit ready for you to use. So just tap the buy button at the top of the screen and then add to the wait list. You're not buying anything. That'll put you on the list that we will be pulling from at the end of the show. And in case you joined late, I am going to be doing a couple of questions. Just put @Lisa and the girls will pull those up. And so we're going to talk just very briefly about seed storage, y'all. Buy seeds when you see them. And the way we store them properly is with the desiccants. You need to be able to store properly so you can get seeds where you need them, when you need them. And so you can get a 2-pack for $2.95 or a 10-pack for $9.95. And that way you can purchase seeds and be confident that they're going to be viable and we can keep them for another year. Now, so we have some grab bags left, y'all, the mystery grab bags. These are 70% off, y'all. That means you can get a 6-pack of vegetable and herb seeds for $8.91. Oh my goodness, regular size sunflower grab bags, 6 packs for $10.71. A jumbo 6-pack of sunflowers, $25.11. And remember, y'all, these are the same seeds that I grow. There are no duds. This is all of the same stuff. We're just trying to get our 2023 stock into the hands of the gardeners because our 2024 is coming in. We also have some regular warm season seeds, 6 packs, $8.91. We also have some jumbo warm season seeds for $23.31. Y'all, that's like a savings of $50. That's like crazy. We also have some cool flower seeds, 6-pack for $8.91. And then we have some jumbo cool flower seeds for $23.31. All right, so those cool flower seeds are the ones that you're going to actually jump right out of the gate after Christmas, right? So if you're looking for a gift, some of the great gift-giving ideas, remember a grab bag and a pair of gloves is like $17, y'all. What a great gift to give to somebody, right? Now, we do have other seed collections, and we have several of them. And there's the Easy Cut Flower. We have the Cool Season Hardy Annual. And remember, these seed collections, these are the 2024 seed collections. They're $22.95. They all include 6 packs of seeds. my additional growing instructions, and a planting diagram on the back. We have the Cool Season Hardy Annual, Planet Pink, which has a super sweet story about when I had breast cancer in it, as well as our Workhorse Cut Flower Garden. Those are perfect gifts to give people. So I just wanted to show you some of the cool flowers actually dried, y'all. This is Status. This has been dry for 6 months already. Look how vibrant and beautiful the colors are. These are cool flowers. This is some of what I'll be starting right out of the gate in January. This is available in the mix, but you can also find the individual colors out in the app. They're really beautiful. Those are great bouquet fillers for early summer. And then this is the, what do they call this color? It's peach. So this is looking a little pinky as it's dried, but it's like apricot, peachy kind of color. Yeah, so it is really useful. It's a hot color in the wedding world. It is really great, and y'all stand by. Look at these straw flowers. Straw flowers are awesome. Fresh, they are incredibly long lasting. They were a huge part of our bouquet program. This is the king size mix, and you can find all of the individual colors in the app individually. Really love that one. All right, and so the other flower, which I don't have it because we haven't ever dried any yet, we will this year, that I wanted to share with you guys. Is there any particular order for this stock?
They're in the order. Whatever you want.
Oh, okay. So the other flower that we start in January, right, the very first one, is, y'all, we start stock. We grow a lot of stock around here. This is the gorgeous, what they call it, apple cherry blossom. This is a sweet pink, a paler pink that is really beautiful. And so this is a single stem. We only plant it in very early spring. Then there is the dark pink, which is so useful. When we start stock right early in January and get it in the ground by Valentine's Day, we have Mother's Day stock blooming. So this is the darker pink, which they actually just call pink. It's a cat's. Again, that cat's is the variety. Then look at this color. I mean, it's just such great colors for spring flowers. And, yep. And then look at this. This is the cat's high double white. This is one of the tallest ones I've ever grown. And who doesn't need more white flowers? Again, stock is all single stem, so we put 8 rows in a bed. And then this is called yellow, but it's ivory, y'all. It's really, really useful. So this is actually cheerful yellow. This is one of my go-to favorites. Really, really love it. So we start those actually in spring, or in very early spring planting. All right, so friends, it's time for us to wrap it up here. And thank you so much for joining me here. So remember that we have a lot of free resources over at thegardenersworkshop.com that include videos, blogs, podcasts. Remember that we have 2 podcasts. We have Field and Garden, and we have Seed Talk with Lisa and Lane. And you can find both of them on any app that you like to listen to your podcasts on. Remember to meet us back here next Friday for the live show. And next week is the last week for shopping for guaranteed shipping by Christmas on the show here. So join us next Friday for your last minute shopping needs. And friends, we have a winner of our $25 store credit, and I hope you're here. We just love it when people win. And so the winner is BC Florals. BC Florals, if you are here, give us a big old shout out in the comments and we'll know you're here, and we'll have you, then Kelly will put it in your cart, which means when you go to checkout, you're going to have a $25. So that is BC Florals. Thank you so much, and congratulations. So stick around for another couple of minutes and I'm going to answer a couple of questions. I appreciate everybody joining us. Oh, she's here. Congratulations. BC Florals. We don't know if you're he or she, but we're just going with BC. How's that? So congratulations, and you can check your box. Literally, Kelly is putting it in your cart now. So when you check out, you have a $25 store credit. Is there something special I'm going to the questions, y'all. Is there something special we need to do when using cocoa core for soil blocks? Mine don't seem to be as sturdy versus when I use peat. The cocoa core crumbles when I bottom water. You know, I have to agree with you, and I do not have a really great solution for that. I prefer to use peat. We use so little peat moss here on our farm that we pretty much use with peat. I find that cocoa core, first off, there is a vast difference in the quality that you get, and you have no way to know what you're getting until you're at home sifting it, what you've gotten. But I find that they dry out a whole lot faster and they are finer. Oftentimes it's so fine it just falls to pieces. So I understand you not wanting to use peat, but I'll tell you the conversation that I had with someone whose name I won't say, a big shot in the industry, that really had the science behind that those of us that don't want to use peat because of the environmental impact, that in fact there's those same types of issues behind cocoa core. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just saying we use so little of it in our soil mix that's the best you can do. But I have no solution for that, but I feel your pain. How do you preserve your Bio 360 film? Both coyotes, deer, and bear walk across mine and puncture it. How do you keep Tucker off yours? Well, good grief, coyotes and bears, I'm not quite sure about. Although coyotes, we have had coyotes here where we are. So for Tucker, the only way to keep any animal from grazing and walking around and meandering is oftentimes when we're facing that challenge, we literally immediately put up hoops and row covers the minute we put the beds down. That just kind of creates a visual barrier. Now that might not work. I have no idea if that'll work for bears. It doesn't keep animals, it doesn't prevent them from walking. It just makes them look over and say, oh, I'm gonna go the other way. There's something over there. You know what I mean? It's all about their perception. So with Tucker, we definitely like to put our hoops and row covers down earlier than later, because when the garden is flat, meaning there's beds with little transplants and pathways, he doesn't really see any difference. But if I hoop and row cover, he walks up and down the aisles like a good boy. And let me tell you, Tucker's pretty much a wild boy. But when he's been exercised properly, he just kind of stays on the pathways. Then when the plants grow up, he does the same thing. That keeps him in the pathways. So basically, Tucker has no access to run freely if I don't have barriers up. Because there really isn't a way, but I'm sorry, I don't have anything to offer for bears, other than electric fence, and I'm not even sure if that works for them, right? Where do you suggest we start with grow lights for a seed starting beginner? I've seen your setup with lots of shelves and long lights. Is that the best setup on a small scale too? So scale is relative. I mean, my grow room, it was set up with enough. I had 4 of those rolling racks, those stainless steel shelving units, and I could literally start and support 13,000 seedlings at one time in there, and they're moving through. So I consider myself small. Are you talking about small home gardener? Any tabletop grow light, the grow light that we sell that's big for like the racks like you see that are in my grow room, there's a hanging version and there's a tabletop version. I believe that if you started out with a tabletop version, you could take those legs off and put chains on it as you graduate up to more space. But yeah, for me, shelves and grow lights and flat bottom trays with no drainage holes, I mean, the sky's the limit. You can just keep building and adding on and adding on. So I hope that helps. I planted cool flowers in South Louisiana in November in Zone 9. My calendula are only about 6 inches tall and they're already blooming. What should I do? I wouldn't do anything. There's really nothing you can do when flowers start blooming, what we consider prematurely. They're reading the weather and thinking it's time, but just let them go. They'll survive winter, and then you'll just pinch back those stems come winter or early spring when they start regrowing, and more flowers will come. So don't worry about it. I just ignore them. Should Bupleurum transplants be mulched? I'm in North Florida. Well, we typically, this time of the year, are direct seeding But we definitely transplant them during winter, and mulch would not hurt them. Although you're in Florida, right? Just thinking. If you have a wet, warm season, we don't mulch them. We hoe most often, and that eliminates any perhaps threat of rotting. So if you get a lot of rain where you are, I wouldn't mulch them. If you do, I'd mulch. I think that's great to do. All right, we'll take one more questions. At what temperature do you remove row covers? I covered for low temps, but next week will be in 72. Should I remove the row cover? What a great question. I will tell you, when I started flower farming 25 years ago, we put the row covers up before Thanksgiving, and they stayed up till almost mid-March because it was cold the whole time. That is no longer the case. So you have to read the weather. We put them up when it's going to be 25 degrees or lower. But if the temperatures climb back up to 50 to 55 degrees in the afternoon, we'll take them down. For one afternoon, I might not do that. For a stretch of afternoon warm temperatures like that, I take them down. What you don't want to happen is that you don't want your plants to be encouraged to grow. The whole concept is you plant your plants 6 to 8 weeks before frost. You plant them, they get established, it gets cold, they go dormant, they need nothing. They need no food, they need no water. Then very early spring comes and they start growing. And that's what you're actually looking for. So you don't want to do anything during the winter to encourage them to break dormancy, and heating them up will actually do that. All right, friends, it has been a pleasure to be here with you guys today. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We're counting down, right? But don't forget, while we're going to have a joyous holiday, a big part of that for me is knowing that I'm lined up to get all my seeds started in January, so you will not be late planting your cool flowers in very early spring. I get tons of messages, y'all, in February, March, and April. Well, I never got my seeds. If you plant late, you're going to suffer consequences. You're not going to have as much success. So get on the ball. Just do it and check it off your list. All right, friends, till we meet either on Wednesday at Ask a Flower Farmer or right here next Friday for the live show. Ciao.